Today on Studio G, we will update you on the latest Nobel Prize to be handed out.
We will bring you coverage on the press conference for the big UNLV-UNR football game this weekend.
And we have reporter Stephen Marsh interviewing Coach Anthony Bartley. All this and more coming right at you in 25 seconds. Stay tuned.
Good afternoon and welcome to the one and only Studio G. I'm Donald Woods.
And I'm Honey Love.
Two researchers from different times received the Nobel Prize for their research and discoveries on stem cells. Although their research has been separated by over 50 years, their claims and views have been similar. The first one was British scientist Sir John Gordon, who 50 years ago cloned a frog using only the lowest level of cells to do. And the second, Shinya Yamanaka of Japan, who experimented in turning back the clock in mice and human cells. A proverbial fountain of youth, if you will. The reason for them receiving the award, however, has more to do with the potential uses of these breakthroughs. Scientists believe that this research could eventually lead to the treatment of human organs, see tissue transfers, and heart rejuvenation. After all, there is no better match for body tissue than your own genetics. We will now go to our own Honey Love, taking an inside look at this past weekend's highly anticipated attraction, Batman Live.
Holy jeepers creepers! It's Batman! Yes, that's right. Batman Live, the World Arena Tour, was at the Thomas & Mack Center this weekend. And no, this wasn't a musical, and you won't see this Cape Crusading superhero singing and dancing around on stage. However, what you will see is this. After 2.5 years in the making, Batman Live is a jaw-dropping, magnificent theatrical stage production. Composed of 42 actors and circus performers, it's jam-packed with high-flying aerobic acts that will leave you in awe. The 105-foot bat-shaped LED video wall allowed for stunning three-dimensional graphics that took audiences deep into the Batcave, as well as the Penguin's Iceberg Lounge. Batman Live didn't fall short on action. There was so much action that if you blinked, you just might miss something. Filled with daring stunts, stunning pyrotechnics, visually appealing illusions, and even a magic show performed by Batman's arch nemesis, the Joker. Batman Live has an original script written by Allan Heinberg, which was adapted from the popular DC Comics originally created by Bob Kane in 1939. Batman Live focuses on Robin's plight to find justice, and while seeking revenge for the people responsible for murdering his parents, Dick Grayson, aka Robin, finds a common bond with the millionaire Bruce Wayne, who unbeknownst to him is Batman. The two join forces and become crime-fighting vigilantes. Batman Live is filled with all the original villains that everyone loves to hate, including the Riddler, Catwoman, Harley Quinn, Two-Face, Scarecrow, and the Penguin. Although the show was made for younger and older audiences alike, there were, however, some darker moments that spooked some of the younger children, and fight sequences that seemed a bit stiff and mechanical. But I'll blame it on the bulkiness of Batman's costume, which takes 4 people and 1 minute and 5 seconds to change Batman into Bruce Wayne. Overall, I would give Batman Live an A-. I think it's worth checking out. You can find out where the superhero will be flying into next at batmanlive.com. And now, I'm off to the Batmobile.
Thank you, honey. It looks like an awesome show and something to look into for all the hardcore Batman fans out there.
Today on Service in Your Community, reporter Allison Whitley tells us a story about a teacher and the dance studio who is trying to help.
Pamela Ann School of Dance is reaching out to the community to help one of their own. Dustin Pike, who is known as Rays, was a beloved dance instructor at Pamela Ann School of Dance before his unexpected death on September 13th. The owner of the dance studio, Pamela Schumacher, expresses just how sudden Rays was taken from them.
It was a shock. It was sudden. No one expected. This is a man who was very healthy, took care of himself, very physically fit, exercising every day, training very hard.
Rays came to the dance studio as a professional breakdance artist, winning countless competitions and having a love of dance. His beliefs on how to teach dance made him a perfect fit for this dance studio.
We just believe that kids should learn dance in the correct manner from the very beginning. Even though they're young, they still need to be taught correct technique. We also believe that they should have fun when they're doing these things, but do everything in a positive light.
Rays used his love of breakdance and dance to motivate and encourage his students.
He was just great with the kids. I mean, if you just watched him from a distance, you picked up on it immediately. He gets down on their level, you can tell he cares about them, just very helpful, very involved in the studio.
Rays was a healthy, hardworking breakdance artist that was diagnosed with an unexpected disease just 4 days before his death.
And was in a coma for approximately a week and then had organ failure.
Now that Rays is gone, his dance family at the studio is trying to raise funds for his wife and unborn child, who's expected in just a few months.
I really hope that people want to help because this is a man who gave so much back to the community. That was his whole thing, was try to get underprivileged youth into doing something positive to make their lives better.
Dustin Pike, also known as Rays, was a positive light in this community. If you'd like to help out his family, go to www.pamelaanddance.com. For Studio G, I'm Allison Whitley.
Tune in every Tuesday with Allison Whitley to get more information on service in your community. And another major service in your community is your local weather person. And today we have a doozy with cloudy Claudia Magana. Claudia?
Thank you, honey. Let's take a look at those temperatures, shall we? Right now we have a temperature of 84, and it's actually really good weather. It's a nice time of the year to go out there, go hiking, take a walk at the strip, and or whatever you want to do. Right now we have a pressure of 29.81 and winds of 13 miles per hour. The high temperatures are 84 and the lows are in the 70s right now. And in 1996, we had a temperature of 97 and a record of 41 in the low in 1949. And over here, we have a temperature of 84, like I mentioned before. And over here at Lake Tahoe, we have a temperature of 58, and it's actually a really good temperature. And over at Nellis, we have a temperature of 83. Taking a look at the national temperatures, over here we have a low pressure, and it seems like it's going to rain just as it will be in this coming week in Vegas. And as we can see over here, we have a temperature of 52. In Seattle, and 52 in Augusta, and 58 in New York, and 86 in Miami. And now let's take a look at our forecast weather. And on Thursday, we're going to have a 40% chance of rain. And on Sunday, it's going to come up to the 80s. And on Tuesday, it's going to be 86. Thank you so much. And let's go take it back to Honey and Dawn.
Thanks, Claudia, for the weather. That's all for the weather today. Not everyone has the budget or the skill to become a professional race car driver, but a new miniature trend is taking off that may be the next best thing. Reporter Bree Bradley tells us more.
Talented students build skyscrapers, roofs, homes, and find employment in areas such as digital arts, real estate, construction, and much more. Come and explore the possibilities at UNLV. Build your way to the future.
And for a little deja vu, not everyone has the budget or the skill to become a professional race car driver, but a miniature trend is taking off that may be the next best thing. Reporter Bree Bradley tells us more.
Since the early 1970s, off-road racing has been a particularly difficult sport to participate in. That's where Vegas RC Raceway comes in. Having been open about a year, this facility accommodates people of all types and gives them a look into the off-road racing world.
We usually deal with a lot of older people, and we're starting to get a lot of younger kids to come in and play with our RC cars.
Lila Flynn, the assistant manager of Vegas RC Raceway, is also an RC racer herself. Like everyone else, she had to work her way up through the ranks.
There's a novice, sportsman, and expert class. We've been having a lot of sportsman classes mainly, somewhat of novice, and a little bit of expert. There's a lot of experts that come here and race though too.
So you basically drive these little trucks around and race them. So I had to know, what makes these so appealing?
You get to race against friends and be competitive.
It brings me back to my childhood. There's only a couple girls that race here.
I'm a born racer. I love to win.
Off-road racer Cameron Woodward says RC car racing is the closest thing people can come in contact with before driving an actual race car.
It's exactly the same thing. I mean, when you go into an RC car race or an off-road race, it's the same preparation, and you have to have the same mindset, except for in one you're behind a wheel and on the other one you're up on the stand so you can't get hurt.
Well, me being the off-road racer that I am, I had to see what this was all about for myself. Apparently this sport isn't my forte, but that doesn't mean this sport is going anywhere anytime soon.
Since we're building a nitro track in the back, I honestly think it's going to get a lot bigger since we're also going to get a new building soon. So I honestly think it's going to get a lot bigger in the next 5 years.
For Studio G, I'm Bree Bradley.
For more information on Vegas RC Raceway, be sure to visit their website at vegasrcraceway.com.
Well, it's rivalry week here at UNLV, and the Rebels host their arch nemesis, the UNR Wolfpack, for the Fremont Canyon. And for the players.
Keep going, Donald. Keep going. It's an exciting time. You know, it's a game that
Going into the rivalry game, Coach Hawk said the Rebels need to work out a few kinks before the game on Saturday. One thing that is new to the rivalry is the Governor's Series, and to tell us more about the series and to update us on all your sports needs, we bring into Studio G Stephen Marsh. Why did they stop the game? Going into the rivalry game, Coach Hawk said the Rebels need to work out a few kinks before the game on Saturday.
The things that we've done the last couple of weeks that have cost us the game are not finishing drives on the offensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, we have not stopped the run game well enough, along with the big play.
One thing that is new to the rivalry is the Governor's Series, and to tell us more about the series and to update us on all your sports needs, we bring in Studio G's Stephen Marsh. What's going on, Stephen?
Hey, Donald. Happy Rivalry Week to you. The hype has already started here on campus for the big matchup on Saturday afternoon. And with this being rivalry week, this was a good time for the two schools and Governor Brian Sandoval. They announced yesterday the establishment of the Governor's Series. This series, presented by NV Energy, will be in athletic as well as academics as well. The two schools will compete in 15 different sports, with each winner getting 3 points towards the overall series total, and whoever can accumulate more points at the end of the year will be the champs and will get the trophy as well as the all-important bragging rights. So go Rebels in that. And now on to the NFL and a showdown on Monday Night Football of an undefeated team in the Houston Texans and a Jets team that had trouble finding consistency so far this season. Houston, led by Arian Foster's 152 rushing yards and 1 touchdown, and quarterback Matt Schaub, who threw for 208 yards, helped the Texans despite a scare towards the end as the Jets had a chance to win it late. But a Mark Sanchez interception, not the first time or last time Sanchez will do that, to Kareem Jackson that secures the first win for Texans over the Jets in their franchise history and improved to 5-0 on the season. Now on to baseball, and the divisional round is heating up as teams are looking to stamp their spot in the championship series. 2 games last night. First, in the National League, St. Louis came out strong, scoring 4 runs in the second inning and 4 homers in the game, 2 by Carlos Beltran, as the Cardinals routed the Nationals 12-4 to even the best-of-5 series at 1. Series now shifts to Washington. In the other game last night, the Orioles defeated the Yankees 3-2 to even that series at 1 game apiece. In today's action, it sees the Cincinnati Reds hosting the San Francisco Giants with a chance to clinch it, and Oakland hosting Detroit, hoping to avoid elimination, already down 2-0. Studio G Sports will have a recap of both of these games for you on tomorrow's show. And that's it for sports on this Tuesday, but stay tuned because coming up right after the break, I will be joined by NFL Minor League Hall of Fame coach Anthony Bartley. That's next, right here on Studio G.
HIV testing is now available at the Student Health Center inside the Student Recreation and Wellness Building. Testing is free to all students that have paid their health fee and is available on a walk-in basis only. No needles are used and the results are ready the same day. For more information, contact the Student Health Center at 702-895-3370 or email them at shc@unlv.edu. You must have a Rebel card to get tested, and results are confidential.
Price is driving you bonkers.
Hey guys, welcome back from the break. We are joined today by NFL Minor League Hall of Fame coach Anthony Bartley. How you doing today, Anthony?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Let's talk about, you used to play in Europe in the NFL Minor League. Tell a little bit about that, your experience.
Well, I was one of the blessed ones to actually have been a walk-on into NFL Europe back in 1996. Walked on to the Frankfurt Galaxy while serving my time in the U.S. Air Force as well. That experience, I can honestly say, was a wonderful experience. You know, didn't last the full season, but that left other opportunities for me during the course of the year, playing in the German American League, which was another level of professional football. And I can honestly say it was a learning experience.
And you mentioned you were in the Air Force. Now, how's your does your experience with the Air Force kind of help you in football, or does it have any impact on that?
Well, I can honestly say yes and no. You know, I was one of the fortunate ones where Uncle Sam allowed me to go ahead and partake in such a unique venture, being that once you sign, you become Uncle Sam's property. So, you know, it was one of those things. But other than that, like I said, it was very unique in itself.
And you've also had a chance to coach as well in the Hall of Fame. So, minor leagues, how's that experience coaching a football team?
Coaching takes you to a whole nother level. Once you've come to that transition where you truly understand the game of football, you tend to appreciate football in its entirety. So, you know, having been coaching off and on for the past 17 years, that's, you know, while playing as well, you know, like I said, I've developed a newfound respect for the game. And just, you know, being inducted into the American Football Association Hall of Fame back in 2011 just kind of put the icing on the cake for me.
And you said you're kind of the minor leagues, kind of the equivalent Hall of Fame. What difference between that and the NFL? Is there like any players that are in the NFL that were in that Hall of Fame, or anything you can tell?
Actually, in my induction class for 2011, we had Pro Bowler Michael Lewis, who played with the New Orleans Saints. We had former NFL great Bo Jarrell, who used to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Also, if I go back in history, as I did a little research, we had such football legends like Vince Lombardi. You know, he's the godfather of football, as you can say, and Johnny Unitas. He was also enshrined into the AFA Hall of Fame. So throughout the course of the history, the AFA has turned itself into the most widely respected minor league football association in the country.
Okay, and then coming closer to home, you've had a chance to different kind of coaching. You've coached in the NFL League here in Vegas for a little while. Explain that experience a little bit.
Well, coaching women is spectacular. You know, dealing with women who truly want to learn the game of football in itself. You know, I couldn't differentiate men from women, but just coaching the women and being around the women wanting to learn, it was exciting.
And I wish we had more time, but we got to wrap it up. But Anthony, thank you so much for coming in today. And that's going to do it for right now, but let's go back to Honey for more news.
Locals gathered downtown last Friday for the first Friday of October to kick off the festivities of the up-and-coming Halloween holiday. Reporter Shella Seabay has more on these ghoulish events.
Locals gathered downtown to ring in the first Friday of October. The event gave people from many different walks of life a chance to get excited about the Halloween holiday and its upcoming festivities.
We have a Halloween party. It's our first annual Halloween party. It's on a 4-acre property, and at silent auction, many people have donated prizes that are worth hundreds of dollars, and we're really proud of what we're doing in the community.
And you can't have Halloween without the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Basically what we do is we have the movie on a screen and actors in front of it in the same costumes playing out the parts as the characters on the screen. As you can see, I'm Frankenfurter.
Coordinator Corey Mervis, dressed in her Star Trek best, showed up to promote the 3rd annual Las Vegas Halloween Parade.
It is on October 31st. That is a Wednesday night this year. And we are going to be holding the parade on 4th Street. Everyone is invited. It is a radically participatory parade. That means anyone in costume can be in the parade. It's an all-ages parade, and it's free.
And don't forget the costumes.
These are our tails. These are our awesome costumes. I'm a tutu witch. I think you're over tutu. I am over tutu. You are wearing 3 tutus.
Downtown transformed into a night of fun and fright as First Friday brought in its 10-year anniversary with a Halloween-filled mindset and an upbeat atmosphere.
From food to face painting to acrobats, the 10th anniversary of First Friday had it all. And now we're headed over to the after party. For Studio G, I'm Shella Seabay.
For more information on First Friday's up-and-coming Halloween events, you can visit their website at firstfridaylasvegas.com. After the break, reporter Alex Bull takes us inside the sport of handball.
So stay tuned. Studio G will be back in 60 seconds.
Here at the Greenspun College of Urban Affairs, we focus on 4 core values.
And while it may not all be fun and games, one thing is for sure, you will be surrounded by great people and great educators. This is the Hank Greenspun College of Urban Affairs at UNLV.
He came from across the pond just to teach you about some fun and exciting sports you aren't playing. Here is Alex Bull learning handball.
Hey, I'm Alex Bull, and today I'm going to be learning handball. I'm at the Student Recreation and Wellness Centre.
Many Americans have never seen the sport of handball, but over in Europe it's huge. I got in touch with the Las Vegas Scorpion Handball Club here at UNLV to learn a little more. Head coach Bernard Snyder took me through the basics on how to hold the ball.
We get around, the fingers around like this, to have a pretty good grip on the ball, and we shoot with the ball laying in our hand, mostly on the fingertips.
Handball is an indoor team sport which consists of 2 teams of 7 players including a goalkeeper. A standard match lasts 2 periods of 30 minutes and is an incredibly fast and physical sport that compares to soccer or water polo without the water.
You say there's a lot of contact. Am I going to get hurt today?
If you're not watching and listening to what I tell you to do, yes, you can get hurt.
After these inspiring words of wisdom, I was thrown into the deep end. The ball is like a small soccer ball and weighs up to 2 pounds that can be thrown by a professional at approximately 60 miles per hour. I had no chance of reaching those speeds. As I found out, handball is an extremely fast and brutal sport, but can be a great way to exercise as well as socialise. I was knackered by the end of practice. Next week on Studio G, I look to tackle the sport of women's rugby. Handball practice takes place on Tuesday and Thursdays at 7 p.m. at the Student Recreation and Wellness Centre. For Studio G, I'm Alex Bull.
Let's hope Alex can recover enough from handball in time for next week's round with the women's rugby team. If you're looking for more information on how to join the Las Vegas Scorpion Handball Club, visit LasVegasScorpions-THC.com.
Do you want to fly like an eagle to the sea? Fly like an eagle until your spirit is free. Well, Carl Winder may be able to help you out.
Here we go.
We have a very thorough safety class because we want to be 100% correct. If anybody does not know how to do this, we're not going to send them up on the mountain. We got a thorough safety class we go through. We'll take an hour if we have to. And the more we know, the better we feel about it. Absolutely.
Well, that's all we have for your show today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Honey Love.
And I'm Donald Woods. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and tune in tomorrow for another edition of Studio G. Have a splendid day, Las Vegas.
See ya.
Take a look at this. In China, panda trainers have to dress the part. These costumed workers are catching a 4-year-old panda that's been living in a nature reserve, learning how to survive on his own. The animal's going to get his final physical exam before he's released into the wild. The workers dress like pandas, even smear panda urine and feces on their clothing to mask their human scent. The future is on display at China's first giant robot exhibition. More than 40 types of robots are wowing the crowds. They can speak with visitors, dance, and are even up for a game of table tennis. The event lasts a week and is sponsored by local government. More than 600 balloons fill the sky over Albuquerque, New Mexico Sunday. The mass ascension at the city's International Balloon Fiesta had been postponed today because of high winds on Saturday. Calm weather Sunday kept the balloons from straying too far, creating a sight that dazzled onlookers.
You don't know where to go, you don't know what to see. You're looking around and
10 different directions at the same time. This is the ultimate.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Catherine Kim.